to explain this topic of design as research, I've taken the topic of diagrams. Diagram is one of the oldest techniques in architectural design repertoire, which has been used by people like FOA, by Foster's, by Zaha. Why diagram? Because diagram gives us a systematic approach towards design. It's a very clear direction. And as designers, at times we want to think what the design can be. But I always believe that the design is amalgamation of the client, the architect, as well as the site. So what the diagram does, it keeps our preconceived notions on the site and lets the system, which is coming from the site and other brief parameters, drive it. So in a way, you don't really take the architect out of the equation, but you help the architect or help us. These diagrams, they help us in creating and driving the design through and through at every stage of the process. So that's why a diagram. Now, when we say research, we are looking at different modes of research. It can be material-based research, it can be technology or system-based research, or it can be research through prototypes on existing projects. So now I was mentioning the use of diagrams by the past masters. So this is an example of the wool thread method, which was used by Fry Otto. So in this case, it is about material intelligence. So here it's a very simple wool thread method. The image on the leftmost image is a wool thread model, which when dipped in a soap bubble, it gives us this shortest path distance. So before all this computational techniques emerged. Correct. Hello? Yeah. So before all these computational techniques emerged, a lot of analog models were used by the past masters. So this is just one of the examples. Then this is another one where another analog model was made by one of the most famous architects and one of the most celebrated projects of our lifespan, which is Sagrada Familia in Spain, in Barcelona. So here gravity was the driver to create the geometry. So essentially it's an inverted chain system mechanism where the chains and the entire system is made, and through gravity, the design is emerged. And what you see on the rightmost image is a mirror. So this is an inverted chain mechanism on the bottom. And the inverse of this on the top is a Sagrada Familia. So both these projects are looking at a system which was set up by the architect, but the design is generated through external forces, through forces of nature. Why forces of nature? Because anything in nature exists in perfect harmony. So you'll not find anything in nature which is out of balance. And by using gravity and by using wool thread method, especially in this one, which it essentially meant is that the project is actually in balance with the structure. And so this was one of the design elements which was used as a diagramming tool. Now coming a bit more towards the current scenario. So this is OMA. So the image on the left is showing this program, right? So this program consists of housing, it consists of offices, parking, all of these things. Now, what they've done is, what you see on the top are these 4 non-woven programmatic elements which are existing. But using a diagrammatic system just to interweave the program, which is a very simple system, right? Program at times is seen as a very banal thing by architects. But what OMA is doing, at the bottom here, you see that this interweaving of that program is done in plans, in sections, in elevations, by nesting them into each other. And by doing this, they get a very rich interlayering and a very rich interaction of different functions with each other. So this is in terms of diagramming as a very simple interweaving the design. Then this is Mr. Eisenman. So of course, Peter Eisenman is one of the ones who really tried to push and introduce digital design. So he calls it a new form of writing through his design and systems. So these are again diagrams which he was using to create a systematic approach towards a design. I think this is the last one. So this is space syntax. So space syntax, they look at human movement. So at the end of the day, any project which is being executed is occupied by humans. This is what we're designing for. And the occupational happens on the ground floor and the floor plans. So what is essentially the diagram show is the first diagram shows the movement of humans or the occupants in the space. And then the middle one shows the heat mapping in terms of the maximum usage of the areas and minimum usage of the areas. So why is it useful is because by doing trajectory movement analysis, you can take out the most redundant space of any design and create a very robust and efficient design. So this is why movement analysis is very critical. So now Asian-based modeling is being done and other things are done. And then going to the city scale, space syntax is again the masters. Bill Hiller is the guy. So here in this particular case, on the extreme right, they are doing a city-based mapping of the hotspots of the city. So even now, if you're doing master plan studies or anything we're doing, so there are railway stations. So you have to take 5 kilometer, 2 kilometer radiuses and analyze the traffic and the movements. So this is where this diagram comes into play to help you resolve the left two are for spatial analysis for a small architectural space, and the right one is for city level analysis.